Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we actually need to talk about just how deep our phones are being data mined because some proof has come to light thanks to the January 6th Capitol Riot on that subject, and some of you may already know this, but this was rather eye-opening. And this is coming from a couple of different sources, but here's the backdrop on this story. A man named Jeffrey Register was arrested by the FBI yesterday, Tuesday, after discovering basically that the authorities understand technology better than he does. Now, Register, who is basically of Florida, surrendered himself to basically he's looking at trespassing and disorderly conduct charges in connection with the January 6th Capitol riot. Now, Register had initially denied that he was there when he was interviewed on February 24th by an FBI agent, but when he was confronted with photographic evidence, he had, quote, admitted that he deleted photographs from his phone and claimed to have factory reset his cell phone in order to, in his words, delete what might be proof that he entered the building. And it turns out that this denial strategy was basically no match for the FBI's excellent forensics and their ability to track suspects as laid out in the complaint by the DOJ. And I quote, "According to records obtained through a search warrant served on Google LLC, a mobile device associated with at gmail.com was present at the U.S. Capitol riot on January 6th. The name associated with that account, according to Google, is Jeffrey Register, and the account's recovery phone number is," and it goes on to explain that, to continue the quote, "Google estimates device location using sources including GPS data and information about nearby Wi-Fi access points and Bluetooth beacons. This location data varies in its accuracy depending on the source or sources of data. As a result, Google assigns a maps display radius for each location data point. Thus, where Google estimates its location data is accurate to within 10 meters to the location point. Finally, Google reports that its maps display radius reflects the actual location of the device 68% of the time. In this case, Google location data shows that Register's device was in the Capitol from approximately 2:17 p.m. until 4:38 p.m. Google records show that the maps display radius for this location was less than 100 feet, which encompasses an area that is entirely within the U.S. Capitol building. And here we are. Also, the FBI basically found open source video on YouTube.com, state motor vehicle records, Register's DC hotel room records, a parking pass for him, and more. And basically, this was all made possible by that initial search thanks to Google location services when they served Google that warrant. The video showed, for the record, that they found, and I quote, "Register running past U.S. Capitol police officers who are attempting to hold back the crowd. Throughout the duration of the video, I identified Register based on his facial features, his distinctive facial hair, and the lettering and image on the back of his sweatshirt. That sweatshirt was later recovered." So this is what we're talking about here. We are living in an interconnected world. And I also read a rather interesting article about why people would take their cell phones and take selfies of themselves to be like, XYZ, Bob Smith is running into the Capitol, as happened with basically a legislator. I think it was from the state of West Virginia, where he said his name. I don't remember his name, but it's like, Bob Smith is in the Capitol. Bob Smith is in the Capitol. It's absolutely crazy. But interestingly enough, psychologically, these people actually believed that they were going to overthrow the government, and therefore it was perfectly fine because they were documenting their moment in this history. So I think this is a very interesting thing, but this underscores that if you're taking your cell phone somewhere, it is hitting cell towers, it is hitting Bluetooth beacons around you, it is hitting wireless. All of this telemetry is going back to Google that can track you. And I've done videos on location services even being turned off that will still allow the Googles of the world to track you as well. Not to mention everybody else around you essentially acting as a citizen journalist with cameras and photos and video all streaming from their phone and going live on the internet. It's amazing that anybody can commit a crime these days in that sense, given the amount of cameras, especially one as public, as the riot on January 6th. So that is your interesting news for the day. Understand that basically, as you carry around that phone in your pocket, Apple, Android, whatever it is, and in this case, it was an Apple iPhone, according to reports that he had factory reset, it doesn't matter. they've still got your information. It is continuously being collected and ingested into the massive systems of Google and others so that they can use that information to essentially advertise to you, and in this case, honor warrants from the federal government and law enforcement. And that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe to me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, everyone.